Because if you want to be real about it, Shedeur Sanders is barely occupying a spot on the roster. If Shedeur Sanders isn't even allowed to practice with the scout team, we're not talking about the starters. We're not talking about the second stringers. Shedeur Sanders isn't being given time to practice against the scrubs. If that's the case, why is Shedeur Sanders still on the roster?
If Shedeur Sanders isn't even allowed to practice with the scout team, not with the starters, not with the backups, not even with the scrubs, then you have to ask, why is he still on the roster? This is the question that has set Cleveland on fire, dividing fans, frustrating coaches, and throwing the Browns organization into the center of a national storm. Before we dive in, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and if you believe Shedeur deserves a real shot in Cleveland, drop SS 100% in the comments right now. Because today, we're breaking down what might be one of the most controversial quarterback sagas in the NFL. Just weeks ago, Shedeur Sanders was riding high. The Browns gave him the start in their very first preseason game. It was nationally televised, a moment for the rookie to silence critics. And by all accounts, he played well, better than expected, confident under the lights. Fans thought maybe this was the beginning of something special.
I'm hearing Shedeur is not even running scout team. He's literally watching everyone play. Bailey Zappe's running scout team. I don't know if that's true. That's what I'm hearing. Why is he on the team? Why is he even here? If that's what you think about, because his jersey is selling, the Haslam's don't need jersey money.
But then the story flipped. Reports began trickling out of training camp. Shedeur was struggling in drills, falling behind Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and even Bailey Zappe. By the end of August, the depth chart looked like a nightmare. The once-hyped rookie wasn't quarterback 2. He wasn't quarterback 3. He wasn't even considered worthy of scout team reps. He was buried so deep, people started asking if the Browns even wanted him on the field. And then came the shocking revelation. Bailey Zappe is running the scout team, while Shedeur Sanders is standing on the sidelines, helmet on, but never called in. That's not just a demotion, that's a message.
Shedeur Sanders isn't being given time to practice against the scrubs. If that's the case, why is Shedeur Sanders still on the roster?
It's the kind of question that hits fans in the gut because it exposes the absurdity of the situation. If you're not developing the rookie, if you're not giving him reps, even with backups, then what's the point? Are the Browns keeping him around as a marketing tool? Are they afraid of the backlash if they cut him? Or is this a tug of war between ownership, who wanted Shedeur for his star power, and a coaching staff that never bought in? Head coach Kevin Stefanski is at the center of this storm. From the day Shedeur was drafted, barely drafted some say, rumors swirled that Stefanski wasn't thrilled. The pick looked more like a move from ownership and GM Andrew Berry than a choice by the coaching staff. Stefanski's job has always been about minimizing distractions. Yet here he is, saddled with the son of Dion Sanders, one of the most talked about figures in football. Every snap Shedeur takes is analyzed. Every rep he doesn't get is debated. And that's a headache Stefanski never asked for. So what's the solution? Some argue Stefanski is freezing him out, limiting his opportunities, keeping him invisible. Not sabotage, but a strategic choice. Starve the hype before it swallows the team. But others see it differently. They see a coach punishing a rookie for things out of his control, undermining his growth, and denying him even basic development reps. And then there's the media. National outlets have pounced on the Sanders story like sharks smelling blood. One day, Shedeur is the future of the Browns. The next, he's being sabotaged. Headlines scream about betrayal, disrespect, humiliation. But is it really sabotage? Or is this just the harsh reality of the NFL, where only the best survive? Stefanski isn't running a charity. He's trying to win games, and if Shedeur isn't performing, why waste reps? The problem is, the media has made Shedeur Sanders the story. Every quarterback rep in Cleveland is now framed as anti-Shedeur. If Joe Flacco breathes, it's seen as pushing Shedeur out. If Dylan Gabriel completes a pass, it's painted as Stefanski's plan to bury Dion's son. The Browns aren't just fighting to win games. They're fighting a narrative that has spiraled out of control. Fans are split right down the middle. On one side, you have the believers, the ones who watched Shedeur light up college football, who see him as a rising star, and who think the Browns are deliberately stunting his growth. These fans chant SS 100%, buy his jersey in record numbers, and flood social media demanding answers. On the other side are the skeptics. They see a rookie who slid in the draft, who hasn't proven himself in camp, and who got his chance in preseason but failed to capitalize consistently. To them, Shedeur is hype, not production. They argue, if he can't beat out Bailey Zappi for scout team reps, then maybe he doesn't belong on the roster at all. This divide is toxic for the Browns. Every quarterback decision now sparks debate, not about the game, but about Shedeur Sanders. Here's the twist. While Shedeur rides the bench, his jersey is selling out nationwide. Reports have him top 5 in NFL jersey sales, a staggering feat for a rookie buried on the depth chart. For the Haslam family, owners of the Browns, this is gold. Shedeur isn't winning games, but he's moving merchandise. And this raises a brutal question. Is Shedeur Sanders more valuable as a marketing asset than a quarterback? Is he on the roster not because Stefanski wants him, but because ownership knows he fills stadiums, sells jerseys, and draws eyeballs?
But imagine being in his shoes. You're Dion Sanders' son. The spotlight follows you everywhere. You've proven you can perform under pressure, and yet, in Cleveland, you're standing on the sideline while Bailey Zappi runs scout team plays. It's humiliating, it's demoralizing, and worst of all, it leaves you powerless. Shedeur's NFL dream has become a waiting game, waiting for reps, waiting for trust, waiting for an opportunity that may never come. This isn't just about Shedeur, it's about the Browns' identity. Are they a franchise that develops talent, even through growing pains? Or are they a team that plays it safe, clinging to veterans like Joe Flacco while burying rookies who don't fit the coach's vision? History isn't kind to Cleveland. This is the team that fumbled away quarterbacks for decades, the team that turned potential stars into cautionary tales. And now, the world is watching to see if Shedeur Sanders becomes the latest victim of the Browns' curse. You can't talk about Shedeur without talking about his father, Dion Sanders. Coach Prime is more than a dad. He's a cultural icon. His presence looms large over every step of Shedeur's career. For some, this is the problem. They see Shedeur as a packaged deal, a product of hype, a name carried by his father's fame. For others, it's exactly what makes him special: the confidence, the swagger, the ability to handle pressure because he grew up in it. Either way, Dion's shadow is unavoidable, and the Browns may be afraid of it. Giving Shedeur real reps means inviting the full weight of primetime into the locker room, and maybe Stefanski just doesn't want that. So where does this go? Scenario 1. Shedeur sits all year, develops quietly, and gets his shot next season. Scenario 2. The Browns cut him loose, sparking outrage but freeing Stefanski from the distraction. Scenario 3. An injury forces Shedeur onto the field and suddenly the entire narrative flips. If he plays well, Stefanski looks like a fool for keeping him sidelined. If he struggles, the critics are silenced. No matter what, this saga isn't ending anytime soon. As long as Shedeur Sanders is on the roster, Cleveland will be haunted by that one question: why is he here if you won't let him play? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit like, smash that subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Shedeur Sanders get real reps this season, or is Cleveland right to keep him on the sideline? This story isn't going away, and neither is Shedeur Sanders.